Good morning, yogis. Good morning, Val. How are you? Happy Saturday. For a second, I thought it was Sunday, but it is Saturday. Welcome, welcome. If you are here, please check in or at least do a little like so that I'm just trying to get an idea of who's practicing, who's not, if I should keep these classes going for the summer or not. So just trying to get a general idea if people are still enjoying them. I know for all of us, this has been hugely wonderful for all of us during COVID when we were a little bit more contained into our homes. Good morning, Lorraine. So just sort of trying to get a general idea of which classes people enjoy. Val, I know you enjoy a lot of them, so thank you. And so just help me out with that if you could. um, Today, this beautiful practice, I'm looking forward to just working a little bit through poses of triangle. So we're going to do a couple of poses leading, a couple shapes leading into some standing triangle poses. So, and I don't know why I told you that. I should keep it all a surprise for you. Um, so as we begin, I also encourage you to have two blocks or a blanket, any of those props I have on my mat, wherever that is. I have a blanket, I have two blocks, uh, and just to help you kind of move into some of these shapes today. So let's get going. Let's just see if this is working. Yes. So as we find our seat, for me, Sukhasana, but really important to take that time as well to find the seat and make it yours. So a little spreading of the sit bones, yeah? Get this foundation. These seated postures are, right, the foundation of all that we do here. The standing posture is the same. So finding the beginning of each posture, connecting to it, and dropping into it. Just allow this, sit tall, shoulders melt down the back of the body. And just let yourself breathe. Notice maybe any sounds around you or inside you. And just take note how you feel, the sensations around, within. In this practice of yoga, that ability to quiet the mind, but also that practice of allowing ourselves to go in deeper, right? In deeper to our truth. So as we move around on our mats into different shapes, different poses, some more challenging than others, we get a chance to look at ourselves and see how we might react to these shapes, to these poses. Sometimes we push ourselves so hard that it takes all the pleasure out of everything. And then other times we're so distracted, there's no effort in what we're doing right in front of us, right? We're so distracted by everything else that that gem right in front of us just gets lost. So just notice yourself and endlessly try and bring yourself inward. And just take a pause. And then begin to soften. So relaxing the shoulders, relaxing those muscles of the face, that I like to say armor of the face, and let that relax. Eyebrows, eyelids, lips, cheeks, tongue. And as you do this, begin to draw yourself into that heart space. And as you draw yourself into that heart space, bringing in that mind to love and light, that which I believe exists inside all of us. Sometimes it gets lost on the way, on this journey of life. Just focus in there, letting negative thoughts or negative beliefs wash off of us. And talking a lot about that this week. We have stories or some scars of the past that kind of cling to us, hold on to us, right? And sometimes those are negative stories, negative experiences. We can learn to release them. And as we release them, that makes room for more love or more life. And the same, sometimes negativity tries to come into us, maybe through people or thoughts or media or our own conversations with ourselves. So trying to, again, kind of not allow that in, to block it, to protect yourself, to be in that space of light and love for yourself. And just feel the breath here as it rises and falls. And today we're going to bring one hand down onto our belly, one hand up onto that heart center. And I want us to start by breathing into the belly. So feel the belly kind of fill up that palm. And exhale as you draw it back in. Again, inhale, fill up that belly. And exhale as you draw it back in. Again, inhale, babies breathe into their belly, far more into their bellies than into their chest. So here we're doing just that. See if you can find that beautiful breath. Belly fills up and draws in on that exhale. On the next inhale, begin to fill the belly and the ribs and the heart center. All the way up into that top palm and then back down, heart center, ribs, and down into the belly. Inhale, belly, ribs, heart center, ribs, down into the belly. Again, feel the breath as it fills you up. And then back down. Stay tall in your spine, and at the base, the belly button draws in. Just two more like that. Inhale, nice and long belly, ribs, heart center, ribs, down into the belly. One more. Beautiful. And then bring these palms down onto the knees, cupping the knees. I want you to sit back. So round the spine, tuck the tail, and drop the chin in. So as we sit back here, getting that nice stretch into the back of the neck, up the spine. Should feel good. Maybe a little gentle rock if that's nice for you. The more you tuck the chin, the more you sit back. Take another breath. Just pause here into the space. Last one. And then begin to lift the belly in and up as you roll that spine up, lengthening. We're going to take these palms, bring them down onto our heart center. Sit tall here. Shoulders melt down the back of the body and just feel your wholeness. And then slowly begin to peel this heart open as you open the arms out to a T. Let the palms face forward, shoulders melt down the back of the body. And then from here, slowly we're going to begin to twist to the right. And as we do, just a little twist, keep the arms at that T. Gaze can begin to move over those right fingertips. And then slowly come back through center. And take this over to the left. Taking your time. Gaze can be over those left fingertips. And then slow, come back through center. Draw the belly in and up. Keep that support. Taking this back over to the right. And then this time, take that left hand to the right knee. Right hand comes behind you. Grow tall on that inhale. And then begin to take a little twist here. Belly button, ribs, heart center as you exhale. Breathing in, breathing out. Taking your time. Beautiful. One more breath here. Now slow and controlled, I want you to lift the belly button in and up. Begin to release the arms, but only to bring them back to that T and unravel as you slow come back. Yeah, take a breath, inhale. Right hand across to the left knee as you begin to exhale, coming into this twist. Take a breath, inhale, grow long. And exhale, belly, ribs, heart center as we take this twist. Breathing in, breathing out. Beautiful, and again. One more breath. And then same thing, keep that core. So we're starting with the arms, keeping the twist, and then begin to lift the arms, and then slowly unravel this twist, coming back to that T. Beautiful, take a breath. We're gonna take these arms and we're gonna interlace them behind us. Now, if that's too much for you, right, the shoulders, palms face out and relax the shoulders down away from the ears. If it feels okay, interlace the hands and maybe even move into the Sepana mudra that we've been doing a lot of this week, right? So interlacing the fingers, pointer finger and thumbs, index finger and thumb stay out, and draw all this energy together and open up that heart. Take your breath. And again. Beautiful. And then very slowly, we're going to release these hands. We're going to take these arms back up to the sky. Soft palms as they touch. And then draw this down into your heart center and coming back to that loving intention. Moving into the light to the left. And then slowly from here, we're going to shift. Maybe you give those legs a little shake in between. That's totally fine. And then bringing that opposite leg in front. Good. Reestablishing the seat, just a little bit more of this floor work as we sit tall here. Yeah. And again, placing these palms down onto the heart center. I'm going to switch which one was on top and just bow into that, sitting tall. Beautiful. And then from here, lift your head if you bowed it. And then begin to kind of open up that heart. And as you do, extend these arms long again. Yeah, so we come to that T again. Opening up, belly drawing in and up. But this time, take a breath and inhale. And we're going to take the right hands down to the earth. And we're going to keep these arms, look, fingertip to fingertip. Nice length here. Our heart is open. Yeah, like that triangle arm. And then maybe that gaze goes up. Feel the breath. Take one more breath, a nice big inhale. And with the exhale, let the gaze go down just for your neck and reach this arm over. Good. And again. And then slowly from here, we're going to take this top arm. We're going to revisit where we were before, that nice fingertip to fingertip. Lift the core in and up. We need lots of core for this movement. And then the arms begin to move. We're back to that T, right? Find that sweet spot. Take a breath. And then the left hand's fingertips come down. The arms move into that triangle arm. Find it. Take an inhale. Gaze goes over those right fingertips. As you exhale, lifting the chest. Take another breath. Beautiful. And then from here, take an inhale, reach a little bit longer. And with the exhale, let the gaze go down, reach over. Feel that breath, feel that edge. And again. One more, should feel good. And then again, lift the belly in and up, right? Be really supportive of the back. The arms move and then come back up to that T. You got it. Good. We're going to take the arms up this time, palms together, soft, and then draw them down into your heart center. Love it. From here, we're going to take that right leg out to the side, left leg, that foot comes to the inside, and you can always slide that block underneath. Toes, let them turn up towards the sky. Kind of lift the quad muscles, lift the pelvic floor muscles as well. Take a breath, inhale. Exhale, sit tall. And then from here, that right hand is going to slide down the inside of that right leg. And this left hand, take it to your hip. Take in kind of a little bit of that twist. You can feel the heart opening. And then just slide down that leg. Doesn't need to be big, doesn't need to be deep. Maybe the gaze goes up towards the sky. And then this top arm again, just find that kind of triangle arm. I like to say fingertip to fingertip, reaching away from one another. Heart can open, belly button draws in and up. Again, just feel this goodness inside you. Good. And then top arm reaches over, and we get that nice side stretch. Doesn't need to be huge, just opening up the hips. Good. And again. One more breath. And then as we unravel, this top arm reaches back up. Good. Lift the belly in and up, and then slowly coming out of it. Yeah, just pause. Love it. And then switch the legs. The left leg reaches out to the side, and that foot comes to the inside. That right foot to the inside. Sit tall. Just take a pause, please. Ever returning to our practice. And then slowly from here, we're going to begin to take and lift the pelvic floor, take a little bit of a twist, and then slide slightly down that leg as that right hand visits that right waist. Take a breath, inhale, and then take it where you need it, where it feels good as you exhale. Yeah? I'm going to take that away. Good. And then just breathe here, lifting of the pelvic floor, heart is open. Relax the muscles a little bit more. And then this back arm, if you like, and reach the fingertips. And again, think about reaching the fingertips to fingertips away from each other. Heart open, belly draws in and up, that triangle arm. And then take it over. Nice big stretch. Ah, my goodness, feels so good. That's my tight hip. So always just taking some nice space into it. I'm just taking a few breaths here. Beautiful, one more breath. Love it. And then slow that top arm. Pause as you reach it back towards that triangle arm. And then very slowly coming back up. Love it. And then from here, I'm just going to move this whole thing into hands and knees, tabletop position. Just take your time. I encourage blocks nearby or books or cans of soup nearby if you have them. You can always place a blanket under your knees. Spread the hands. Tabletop position. Knees under hips and somewhat under shoulders. Sometimes I see people get really kind of tight with this, and then you notice that there's like a rounding of the spine. So I think just finding that organic place for you so that the wrists are somewhat under the shoulders, but you can still get some length into the back of the spine and the neck. Crown of head reaches forward, tail reaches back. From here, we're going to curl the toes, and we're going to lift to that cow pose. Tail lifts, chest lifts, shoulders melt. Take a pause. Next, exhale, release the toes and round into your back. Should feel good. Inhale, curl the toes, lift your chest. And exhale, release the toes and round. Tucking the tail, belly button draws in and up. Should feel sweet. Two more. Inhale into that cow, heart lifts. Exhale, release the toes, tuck the chin and round. Push out of the hands, get the shoulder blades opening. Last one, inhale, open up. Exhale as we round. Beautiful. From here, coming back, nice neutral spine. We're going to take and make a little kickstand with this right leg and this right foot. This right hand is going to come a little bit more underneath your face, and that left leg is going to come out, foot onto the earth, and we're going to reach into this side plank. Yeah, powerful pose. And as you reach, let that back foot drop down into the earth, that outer edge reaching. And heart can go up. And if it feels okay, lift the belly and lean back a little bit. But again, that's a little more intense, so just be mindful. Take another breath. Beautiful. And then slowly bringing that left hand back down, left knee back down. Good. And then curl the toes, sit back towards the heels, stretching the feet, but also getting that nice kind of child's pose back. Beautiful. Take another breath. Beautiful. And then come back up. Hands and knees, tabletop position as we come to the other side. So that left foot turns out like a little kickstand, and this right leg goes long and the toes open out, that whole foot on the earth. And then just begin to lift out of this into this side plank, yeah? Belly lifts in and up, that waist opens. Take your time here. And then slowly lean back, open up that heart. That's up to you. Be really mindful what you're doing and why. Not because I told you to do so. So if it doesn't feel right, you need to shift in self-care. One more breath. And then slowly bring that hand down, knee down, tabletop position. And again, curl the toes under, sit back towards that child's pose. I'm just taking a few breaths there. Letting this body open up. Good. One more breath. And then from here, coming back up, we're going to take these hands a little bit more out in front, and we're going to move to a knee down plank. So release the toes if they're curled under, heart opens. Now from here, I want you to take the right hip and kind of take it a little bit over to the right, the chest a little bit over to the left, but there is so much kind of belly lifting in and up, so you're not landing into the back. Just getting a nice stretch into that right hip. Should feel good if you pause for one more breath, please. And then slowly lift the belly, come through center, and then let that left hip dip. Yeah, but with the core supporting it. Heart open, gaze over to the right a little bit. Good. Take another breath. It should feel good. So support it. Belly draws in and up. And then from here, back to that knee down plank, lower down all the way. Ooh, lots of arms. Good. Peel your heart off the earth and lift to your cobra. And a big wad of cat hair as well. Heart goes. And then slide back. Knees come wide. Move back into a child's pose without the toes curled under. Knees can come wide and just let that heart drop down into the earth. And if you like, take these arms a little bit wider so you can get those shoulders really opening up today. But again, be careful of your body, your shoulders. Good. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. And then if your hands are wide, walk them a little bit more together. And then bring yourself up. Tabletop position, knees come back underneath, and we're going to move into a downward dog. So again, this is meant to be gentle, a little stronger today because that's the energy I have within me, but You can always slide the blocks under your hands and take a downward dog that way. Lifting the knees. I love it with the blocks, right? And really feeling you can get a little bit more space through the hips, through the spine as you drop down into the heels. And just take some time letting the head roll a little bit side to side. You might shift the weight and drop down into that left heel. And then you might shift the weight and drop down into that right heel. Continuously breathing. Maybe one more time. Drop down into that left heel. And drop down again into that right. Really nice. Feels good. Perfect. And then from here, we're going to take our gaze forward and make our way to the front of the mat, right? So the blocks can be there for you. You can use them. We're going to slide the hands up to the thighs and find that Ardha Uttanasana. You can see my shoulders melting away from the ears as the sit bones spread behind me and the crown of head reaches in front. Take a breath, inhale. And then fold yourself into Uttanasana, this first forward fold as you exhale. Feet again can be a little bit wider. And today, take the hands down the back of the calves, down towards the ankles. And just let that head draw in, that belly, chest, head draw in. And you might even find you interlace the hands behind the legs. Again, that's an option that I'm just adding on today. A little bit of a bind. Take your time. We're going to take 2 more breaths just to let the body settle. We already did some nice leg stretches, so we should have a little bit more space right off. Beautiful. And as you release the hands, slide back, Ardha Uttanasana. Melt in, Uttanasana. And from here, root to rise, belly draws in, arms reach all the way out and up. And at the top, bring the palms together. Lift the heart. And then belly, hands down to your heart center. Good. And just pause into that heart space. Take a breath here. And again. Beautiful. From here, sweep the arms up to the sky. And soften your knees, fold forward. Taking that half lift as you grow long. And then we're going to plant the hands. And again, this is where those blocks can come right in handy. And we're going to step that right foot back. Finding that lunge here. Crown of head, heel of foot, maybe a little rocking back and forth. Should feel good. And then let that right knee come down onto the earth. So as you bring it down, you might slide a blanket underneath. That's totally fine. And then just take a pause here, kind of melting into that right front hip. And just feel that space of leaning in but not collapsing. Lift the heart, open it up. Feels nice. Beautiful. Now stay here. I want you to let that chin dip down and tuck the tail a little bit. It'll deepen the stretch into the hip. And also open up some nice space into the backs of the shoulder blades and neck. Beautiful. One more breath here. And then slowly let that head begin to lift the gaze out in front. And we're going to take this front leg and extend it. This half monkey pose, this Hanumanasana that I love. Toes up towards the sky, but not forced. Left sit bone reaching back, right hip rolling forward. Inhales and exhales. Just let yourself go here. Again, into that space where the love, the light is inside of you. Not the force, not the more, not the not enough, but into that love and light. Good. One more breath. And then slowly from here, We're going to come up. That left foot is going to come back down onto the earth. So we're back into that lunge. And the gaze is going to be out in front. We're going to either reach the arms out in front or slide them to the top of our knee, and we're going to come up. So maybe the arms sweep up, or maybe they find the knee, and we sit up here, shoulders over the hips. Take your time, and then bring the arms up. Now, you can see my back toes are curled under. I just find that better and easier for my balance, but if that's too much for you, then don't curl them under. Find what's right for you with those little bits and pieces, right? Now from here, I want you to interlace the hands, keep the index finger and thumb out. That's Sapana mudra, that releasing mudra. And then from here, maybe lift the chest a little bit. Open up. Doesn't need to be huge. One more breath. Beautiful. And then the arms begin to reach out in front, and then they come back down onto the blocks. Ooh, should feel good. Lift that right knee. And then from here, we're going to very slowly, one big step or lots of little steps, up to you, step forward. Lengthen and melt. And same thing, pause here. Maybe you interlace the hands behind the knees. Maybe you even find that Sapana mudra with the index finger and thumbs out. Or maybe you just kind of hang a little softer, whatever's right. Taking 2 more breaths. And then as you release, slide the hands to the shins, get that half lift, nice slow movement. Uttanasana. Good. Place the hands onto the blocks and step that left foot back. Yeah, finding that lunge on the other side. A little bit of crown to heel energy. Beautiful, 1 more breath. And then let that left knee come down to the earth. Maybe a blanket slides underneath it. Find that space. And same thing, we're just leaning in a little bit, opening up that front left hip. Take your time to make it yours. Right? I don't want you in deep pain or discomfort, so support it. These blocks can always come higher, so it's not as deep. Right? So take what's right for you. And then from here, just let that head dip down, a little tuck of the tail, and you're going to feel this slightly deeper into that left hip flexor. Breathing in, breathing out. And again, slowing it down. Beautiful, last one. And then slow, you're going to begin to lift the head. And then from here, we're going to slide back, bringing that right sit bone back. This right leg, maybe it even walks out a little bit further. That's up to you. Toes can roll up to the sky, but not forced. Good. And again, this is always up to you. You can always take it deeper, right? You can move into, a nice split. I did a class this morning, so I'm a little looser, right? So it's up to you where you take these shapes without forcing them, right? Just playing in safe, loving kindness, right? So make it yours. And just settle in for a few more breaths. One more breath. And then slow, that right foot comes back down onto the earth. And here's where we lift up. So same thing, you can bring the hands to the knees to lift up, or you can sweep up that way. So whatever it is for you, shoulders stack over the hips, gaze out in front, and breathe. And then when you're ready, you might then take the arms up if they're not already, and then see if you can find that mudra, Sapana, right? Nice squeezing out of negativity, pouring out of negativity. Taking the breath. And again, maybe the heart lifts. Beautiful. Take one more breath. And then bringing these hands down nice and slow to the blocks. And then from here, just that challenge, we're going to lift that back knee. And then taking your time, this time, we're going to step back to that downward facing dog. Yeah, so just step back, push out of the hands. And drop in. Just feel this downward dog. You can always slide into that child's pose as well. Always up to you, especially with these gentle classes. Make them yours. One more breath wherever you are. And then slowly, if you're in that dog, bring the knees down. Slide into your child. Blocks go to the side. Take a pause. One more breath. And then hands out in front as we lift up. And same thing as we move forward to that knee down plank. Remember we did it earlier. This time keep the belly button drawing in and up. And then bend the elbows behind you and just lower nice and strong all the way down. And as you ride, just peel that heart off the earth, lifting it. Beautiful. And then push back. Tabletop. We're going to slide those blocks in again if you're using them. And find our way back. Downward facing dog. Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Take your breath. And again, a couple of dogs today. Yes, I know I'm including a lot. And then from here, take the gaze forward and then make your way to the front of the mat. Again, little tiptoes, whatever it is for you. Find that half lift to grow along. Mount Uttanasana. And then root to rise all the way out and up as you reach for the sky. Palms together softly at the top and hands draw down to your heart center. And just come back into that heart space, that space of love. Love and kindness, please. I beg for us to be kind to ourselves. One more breath here. And then from here, we're going to sit into our chair. So just allowing the knees to bend a little bit, the arms can sweep. And as we sit into our chair, just feel the weight a little bit more into the heels. Feet can spread. Let the neck relax. And take your breath for 2. And for 1. Beautiful. We're going to inhale, come up to standing. Hands come back to that heart center. And from here, we're going to bring our feet nice and wide. You might have a block close by, so keep that with you. And we're going to turn the toes in slightly to start. A nice wide stance here. And then from here, we're going to take these palms, we're going to bring them onto our heart center. Just resting them there. And just allowing your space in this heart center to open up. Take another breath. Beautiful. And then from here, I want you to just lift your head up. And then keeping those hands there, we're going to turn the back toes out and bend that back knee so we're in that warrior 2. And think about that sit bone tucking under, kind of reaching a little bit more to that inner arch, and you'll get some more openness into the hips. And then from here, I want you just to begin to kind of peel these hands off your chest as you open up that heart, and then take these arms into warrior 2. Gaze out over these fingertips. Take your breath. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Love it. Now, from here, we're going to take this front hand or forearm down to the knee. top of the knee. And this back arm, first reach it and kind of into that nice triangle arm, and then take it over. Yeah, so maybe the forearm comes down. And take your breath for 2, 1. Love it. And then slowly from here, we're going to move back to that warrior 2. This time I want you to take that front leg, lengthen it. So we're that big upside down V, lots of lifting here. And that back palm finds that back thigh. This front palm turns up, lift the belly as we move into reverse triangle. Yeah, feel that nice space into the front edge of the body. Right in there. Take another breath. Beautiful, and then we're going to move. So keep the legs long, and we're going to move the arms back to that T. Shift forward a little bit, and then slide into that triangle. This is where you might, if that's your practice, slide a block in to the inside of that foot. Some people like to use the block. I'm pretty comfortable just taking the back of the hand to the kind of inner calf or thigh and kind of using that to open me up. But if you're a block person, go right ahead. Just feel the space. Take another breath. And just one more breath. Just get that hip opening. And then move back. Warrior 2. Love it. Now from here, we're going to take and bring these arms back to the sky. Turn that foot in. Beautiful. Hands come to your heart center. And just kind of take a little pause there. Nice little regrouping. And then from here, we're going to take and bring these hands back onto the heart center. Take your time. Drop in, catch your breath. And just feel the goodness, not the judgment, not the push, not the force. Beautiful. And then from here, we're going to take the front toes and we're going to turn them out, bending that knee. So we're finding that warrior legs, warrior leggings. Little tuck of the tail. And then begin to kind of peel open that heart. As you do, just open it up again. Sometimes it gets closed from negativity or the life struggles. Reopen it. Take a breath, land into your warrior 2. Feel that space within you, that inhale, that exhale. Good, and again. Yeah, lots of legs here, I know. And then from here, we're gonna move a little bit. So that front hand either comes onto the top of the thigh or that forearm. Pause, just let that top arm reach a little bit. Triangle arm, just to feel that sensation. Good, and then take it over your head. Nice length from the outer edge of the foot to the fingertips. Breathe. One more breath. And then slowly we come back up, finding that warrior 2. And taking this front leg long, right? Get out of the hips, a little bit more length. Turn that front palm up and reverse this triangle. Breathing really nicely into that front edge of the body. Take your breath. And again. One more. Beautiful. Now keep these legs as we move out of that reverse triangle into triangle. Shift forward a little bit, lift the belly in and up, and then drop in. So again, if you're using the block, it comes to the inside of that foot and that fingertip to fingertip energy. And I'm just going to use the inside of my calf or thigh. Belly draws in and up, heart opens. And take your breath. 2 more. 1 more. And then slowly, again, coming out of it, back to that warrior 2. Really nice. And then from here, Take a nice inhale. We're going to take the arms long, curl that front toe in, and exhale down into your heart center. Pausing there. Breathing in and out. One more. And then slowly from here, we're going to fold forward. So hands might come to the hip creases, spine is long, and hands can come down to the block if you like, or the earth. It's up to you. Just find that little pause here in your practice, that setup. Maybe that block comes underneath the head. Whatever it is, make it yours. Maybe you take the outer edges of the feet. Maybe if you even like, you can interlace the hands behind you and take that nice mudra. It's up to you. Just 3 more breaths here. One more breath. And then if the hands are lifted, bring them down. And this time we're going to walk back round and we're going to find that lunge. Yes, hello lunge. It's a good sign. So from here, we're going to step back either to a downward dog, or you can bring your knees down and step to child after that big work on the legs and those standing poses. So whatever it is for you, child's pose, maybe this downward dog with blocks or not. Maybe you're wondering, I thought this was a gentle class. That kind of felt a little strong. And yes, sometimes those standing poses with balance and building strength and focus can be a little stronger. One more breath here. If you're in your dog, slowly bring the knees down. Taking the blocks to the side. And then for all of us, coming back, tabletop position. And we're going to come back round to seated. Hello again, back to those seated poses. So maybe from here you slide that blanket back in, sitting up on it. We're just going to do a little bit of work here. So swivel the feet together into that Baddha Konasana. Rock the sit bones a little bit. And then sit nice and tall, shoulders melt down the back of the body. Let your heart open. Let the feet connect. And breathe. Just take a pause, right? Feel the muscles relaxing into the shape, Baddha Konasana, bound ankle pose, butterfly pose, all these different names. One more breath. Perfect. And then from here, we're going to take these legs and we're going to open them out to a nice wide stance here. So kind of like we did standing, we did it in a triangle as well. And just make sure that your kind of toes aren't rolling out and you're rounding into your back. I want you to begin to feel you're sitting a little bit taller. The toes roll in a little bit. Maybe even shift the sit bones slightly. Take your breath. Inhale. And then exhale. And then hands might come to the inside, right, onto the earth, or you might slide a block in and kind of lean over the block. So long spine. I kind of like this one. I have the space to bring my forearms down. It's too deep for me to bring the forearms down to the earth. So just for me, sliding that block in. And just taking about 5 breaths here. Inhales and exhales. Let yourself settle, but not force. Please don't be leaning so much that it's kind of pulling the knees. Good. One more breath. What are you doing? And then slowly from here, we're going to begin to bring ourselves up. Perfect. And we're going to take these legs, we're going to bring them together, right? So Here we are in that nice long leg. I want you to lift the quad muscles a little bit. So we're not just collapsing behind the knees and collapsing our lower back. We're kind of lengthening the lower back, lifting the pelvic floor, and kind of lifting these quads a little bit. And then from here, you can always bring the blocks in. I just love these blocks. You're just going to walk out a little bit, right? Toes maybe turning back towards you. Maybe finding a little bit more length. And then exhale into it without force. Whatever it is for you. Some people have that space where they actually take the block and wrap it around the toes. I do this morning only because I did a really strong class this morning at 9 that we really stretched out these legs. So I have the space. And just take 3 more breaths. Last one. Beautiful. And then slowly, as we release, you're going to bring yourself back up. And a really good sign, we're going to come down onto the mat. So if you have a block, keep it close by. We're going to do a supported bridge or a towel or a blanket that's kind of folded in half to create a nice little roll here. Just have that close by. And then lay yourself down onto the mat. Nice, hello. And just let the knees rock side to side. Good, and then just bring these feet a little bit wider. So we worked quite a lot onto the front of these hips, so we're going to stay with that. So with the feet wide, we're going to then take the knees over. I'm taking them to the left. You can actually take them whatever side you like. Walk the feet a little bit wider if that feels good, and breathe into this top quad and hip flexor. Maybe the gaze goes the opposite direction of your knees. Take a few breaths here. Two more breaths. One more breath. And then slowly, we're going to bring these knees back up. Yeah, keeping the feet wide or adjusting them wide again. And then taking the knees over the opposite direction. And that upper hip and thigh, opening that up. Arms can always come to a T. Gaze can be over the fingertips. Take your breath. Cat is driving me crazy. Oh, sorry. Oh my God. And take just 2 more breaths here. Stop it. One more breath. Good. And then bring these knees back to center. And this is where we're going to just take our little final pose before final relaxation. So if you have a block or that blanket, you're just going to lift your lower back off the earth and slide this block kind of under that sacrum area. If you're using a blanket, same thing. And then just let yourself relax here. This is that supported bridge. If you're looking for a little bit more, right, you can always lift yourself up off of this block and come into a bridge for a couple of breaths. That's up to you. Wherever you are, just relax, release. And just breathe. Take a few more breaths. And if you're here with this support under your back, you can always take the knees in a little bit and then extend the legs long. Sometimes when I do that, I really need to kind of find the right spot with this block. It needs to shift a little bit. Blanket's a little bit easier. But the block, the tilt under the lower back or sacrum is meant to kind of help actually make this a little easier. Breathing in, breathing out. Nice inversion. If you'd like to take a shoulder stand inversion or move over into wheel or plow, wheel, right? It's practice. Big one. Feels good. Big practice though. Or plow with the legs over your head. All these different playful postures, but keeping yourself safe, connected. Just 2 more breaths wherever you are. 1 more breath. And then let the knees softly come in. And then feet down to the earth. And again, you might take a reverse of one of the poses, maybe a fish or a lifting bridge, and then lower down. And then very slow from here, let the legs go long. And just allow the hips to roll out, the knees, the ankles, the feet. Allow that heart to open, palms can face up towards the sky. And breathe. And just let yourself go deeply, softly into Shavasana, that practice today of loving kindness, releasing negativity. This work we did of opening up the hips. Just take your breath. I'm just staying for a few moments more, just staying in that space of Shavasana. And then maybe softly drawing the knees into the chest, giving them a hug. Massaging that lower back, just a nice rock side to side. And then rolling to your side into that fetal position, that space of thanks, of gratitude. And then lifting yourself up, finding your beautiful seat, sitting tall. And as you sit tall, just notice how your body feels this morning. This kind of hear the rain outside has begun for where I am in Dutchess County. And just place these palms down onto your heart center and just bow into that space of loving kindness. And again, that space where the love and the light lives, remembering that it's always there. It never leaves us. We can always return to it. And bring your palms together. Take a nice inhale. Exhale. And inhale as you lift your head, coming for Om. Om. to each other, we bow to ourselves. Namaste. Thank you so much, yogis. Thank you for showing up for this beautiful practice. I enjoyed it. I love, as you know, I'm such a yoga dork. I love moving. I love staying open and dropping into a space of that relaxes me, that pauses me, that causes me to come back to what's important. And so I hope you enjoy it. And again, I just ask to, if you are enjoying classes, to let me know, to like the page, and beginning to ask if people would like to send donations. They can, and that would be great. And I included the Venmo and the PayPal. You can always reach out for my mailing address, and I can give you that in Messenger or email. Plus, if you would like to be on my email list to know what I'm up to this summer, I have a lot going on, and looking forward to sharing it with you via email. So you can always messenger me in the Facebook your email so you can be included. Thanks so much. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.